sometimes we need to ask for the Lord to help our unbelief. Jesus said, "Everything is possible for one who believes." Immediately, the boy's father exclaimed, "I do believe, but help me overcome my unbelief." And that's in Mark 9:23-24. There was a pastor that was guest speaking at a church, and he said, "I sincerely, deeply, strongly believe in all of God's promises until I don't." And the congregation was, I'm sure, shocked. But that's why this story in the Bible is so important that they put it there. It helps us see that a father who comes to Jesus because his son has this horrible evil spirit and suffers from dangerous seizures, and he was desperate, and he's asked the Lord, if you can do anything, please do it. And Jesus is like, if I can? When he reassures the dad that everything is possible for those who believe. And the dad cries out that he does believe, but he also needs help to be reassured for his belief. As one who is both fully God and fully human, Jesus isn't shocked by our human doubt. He understands. We can be vulnerable enough to cry out to him and believe in him, while at the same time begging for increased faith, especially in our most desperate moments. We might have a family member that gets a horrible diagnosis, and we start researching in Google and trying to find the cure or find everything and anything out about this diagnosis. And you just want the doctor to tell you it's going to be okay. And unfortunately, the world doesn't work that way. And it doesn't work that way for God either. Sometimes we get that horrible diagnosis. Sometimes we have a spouse that leaves. Sometimes we have a beloved family member or friend that just dies too early. Sometimes our future is uncertain, and sometimes our future is frightening. But to counter our fear, God put all sorts of scriptures, all kinds of reminders in the Bible to counter our fear and our disbelief, and how God works. God will never leave or forsake us. That's in Deuteronomy 31:6. And then sometimes we don't understand why something hard is happening, because God's ways are higher than our ways. And that's in Isaiah 55:8-9. Yet God has plans for us to ultimately prosper us and not to harm us. And that's Jeremiah 29:11. Our earthly sufferings would seem light and momentary compared to all the glory that's to come, in Romans 8:18 and 2 Corinthians 4:17. But most of all, in Proverbs 3:5-6, it tells us to trust in the Lord with all of our heart and do not depend on our own understanding. Seek his will in all that we do, and he will show us which path to take. So when we're struggling with worry, let's cling to these promises that he left behind for us. And when we can't even do that, let's beg God to humble ourselves, and he will. Love you, Eagle's Nest.